Hey, what's going on, guys? SB here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video, as the title suggests, is going to be my overall thoughts and a discussion about the current Festival of the Lost this year. My thoughts and opinions on it, what I think the positives are, the negatives, what they could change, and just an overall review of my time since it's been a week since the event came out. I have farmed out my Ghost Rider title, I have gilded it, and I have done pretty much everything else under the sun that is available to do with the Haunted Lost Sectors, the candy, the goodie bags, the masks, all that other fun stuff that you can do this Festival of the Lost. Now, before I jump into it, I want to just tell you guys the structural part of this video. I'm going to start off with the positives and talk about it, just, you know, what I think the fun parts of the event are. I'm going to go into the negatives, and trust me, there's quite a few negatives that I want to spurt my opinions about. You know, just talk about all the stuff that rubs me the wrong way. Is that the right way to say it? And then, you know, the things that I think that they could change about the Festival of the Lost going forward. Hopefully, just some stuff that they could fix up, make a bit better, you know, and have work around making the event more fun for both casual players and for people like myself and other people out there who grind out any festival that comes out, and just the game in general, just to make it a bit more fun. But if you don't want to hear me rant about this Festival of the Lost, please feel free to click off now, or better yet, watch half the video, go down to the comment section and bitch about me ranting and being an elitist, and then leave. Regardless, it's your choice, but I have now warned you about what this video is about. Now, to get started, like I said, we're going to start with the positives. Festival of the Lost is a fun event. Don't get me wrong, I've always loved all the events that Destiny brings, with the Solstice, Guardian Games, Dawning, all that type of stuff. Loved it. I loved Crimson Days back in the day, all that type of fun stuff. I just love the events because, especially this season, it's been a very dry season. Festival of the Lost is a refresher, something new to do, I guess. Even though it gets a bit repetitive, I'll go into that later. But it's something new and fun for the players who are usually just stuck grinding out and waiting for the next season. Like myself, I've started bounty farming at the moment, but you know, it is something refreshing that's in the game for us to, like, you know, take a breather from the season that's now gone into the end of its story, and to actually have a bit of fun leading into the next season. Now, getting started with specifics, I really enjoy doing, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy doing the activities like the farming up pages. You know, by doing activities, the Haunted Lost Sectors can be fun. My favorite thing, honestly, out of this entire thing is probably the bright dust options in the shop. Obviously, all the fun stuff you can get from the like the cosmetics and all that for bright dust, and even some silver. They look really nice. I've been loving the masks. I've been loving the new sparrows and the dancers. I haven't spent any money on this Festival of the Lost yet, but if something cool comes out that I see that I might want to get, might just have to do it, you know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it is a filling event for a lackluster season, and I'm really enjoying the lore. I've really loved the lore inside of the Season of the Plunder between Ido and Misrax and what's-her-face, Aramis and Drifter. That entire combining of like characters to make a new bit of lore is really interesting. I've enjoyed the Nezrax. I almost said Nezrax Sin, sorry. The Nezrax, you know, bits and pieces, his fingers, his bones, his just bits of body parts being darkness artifacts that we've been collecting, hearing the lore about those and how the Elixir obviously had control of them back ages ago. You know, all this lore is good, and the Festival of the Lost does not disappoint in the lore as well. It's been very interesting to read. The character interactions between Ido, Lord Saladin, you know, Glint, and just having Ido participate in a lot more of the lore between the characters in the tower and around the Destiny universe is quite interesting. I really enjoyed reading the lore and collecting it and all that type of stuff. It's just an overall this Festival of the Lost is just, and all Festival of the Lost and all the events for that matter, it's just an enjoyable thing, just like I said, a refreshment to a stale season, or any season for that matter, winding down. And it's good for casual players, don't get me wrong. Casual players love this thing. If I was a casual player, I'm sure I would love this. But that very short positive segment aside, we're going to lead right down into the negatives. Now, the things that annoy me personally to start off with is the tedious grind for the title specifically. Now, don't get me wrong, I love grinding for stuff, but the title for the first week or the first couple of days or whatever was tedious, should I say, sorry. Now, I know that they've changed a bit to make it less repetitive in terms of certain stuff. I don't know the exact details behind the changes. I think it was something about the lost sectors and having to do them flawlessly or something like that. But it's still very repetitive. You had to collect 30,000 candy. You had to, when I did it, you had to do flawless on each of the things, kill 15 of the headless in all of the haunted lost sectors, which was very annoying in LFGs. Trust me, doing it by yourself, just going in there solo farm was annoying to get that done. I'm lucky to have a fire team who was willing to farm it out with me and get their stuff done alongside me, even though I did troll a bit by thunder crashing a headless one too quickly, but we don't talk about that. Regardless, it was a very grindy title to start off with. I got into it, I finished it pretty much, I think maybe not 24 hours after the thing, but a bit after. It was about like a day and a half, right? Day and a half of game time before I got the title done. But I enjoyed the grind, but it's an annoying grind, you know what I mean? Now, another thing that has annoyed me to no end as we progress further into it, it's just the exact same thing as last year. Now, I barely did any of the festival that I was last year because I barely played Destiny 2. I didn't grind it back then. I was much more of a casual player. I was farming raids and all that type of stuff. I wasn't when it came to activities apart from raids, I was very casual. I didn't do nightfalls, lost sectors, and all that type of stuff. I only did nightfalls when I wanted the Conqueror title and all that type of stuff. But it was it's literally the exact same thing. They've added a new lost sector, which is fun. It's a big Cabal one in the EDZ. It's new, it's enjoyable. But haunted sectors overall have been very stale. It's just, hey, there's Vex, hey, there's Hive, hey, there's Cabal, hey, there's Fallen, go in and kill them. In a very awkward and janky lost sector that you've done hundreds of times to farm out bounties. Along with the fact that not only lost sectors haven't changed for the weapons, you have the Braytech Werewolf, you have the Jurassic Green Pulse Rifle, and you have the new Sniper Rifle, which I will admit the new Sniper Rifle is fun to use, but when you're given the God Roll to start off with, not enjoyable in my opinion. I would have much rather been going out there for hours on end trying to farm it out to get a God Roll to make a video on. And I did make a video on it, getting the snapshot opening shot roll. I enjoyed making that video. It was a very fun video to make. If you haven't seen it, click up in that top corner card right now and go check it out. I definitely recommend it, but that's up to you. But I did enjoy the Sniper Rifle, though I wish it was something I had to farm for. Now the Jurassic Green Pulse Rifle, this is a Pulse Rifle, nothing unique about that. And obviously the AR can be fun, but it's just another AR in the Kinetic slot. Nothing too serious in terms of like, look at this, you know what I mean? And there's barely been any perk changes to them. There's Incandescent to the new Pulse Rifle. There's Incandescent to the Jurassic Green. There's Volt Shot to the Sniper Rifle. The new intrinsic perk Search Party, I think it's called, allowing you to ADS faster and move faster while ADS, is fun in Rumble. For the Sniper Rifle, I haven't tried anything else, and I don't think anything else will be good. And even in PvE, you're not going to be, unless you're by yourself doing like a Grandmaster or just farming Nightfalls or farming something else by yourself without any teammates, you're not going to need the ADS speed or the ADS movement speed in general in PvE. PvP, I understand having it, but that's PvP. It's a difference. But regardless, that's just another thing that has ticked me off. Now, getting into the event card is the next thing that annoys me. It's just useless. I've never liked the event card system. I bought the Solstice event card because there was one thing that intrigued me. I'm like, fuck it, I want it. You know what I mean? I spent money on it, and I haven't spent money on this one. I'm not going to spend money on this one, especially when the shader in the bundle is literally just a reskinned Guardian Games one. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's literally just they've switched the colors around. It's a just designed, re-released Guardian Games shader, which is not creative at all, and all that type of stuff. And the mech outfits for the characters. Like I was really hoping for monsters. A lot of my friends were hoping for monsters. Mechs. I mean, they don't look bad, but I definitely think monsters would have been better in my opinion. And I'm not going to spend money on it personally. I probably wouldn't have spent money on the monsters unless I saw what they looked like in game. But I don't think that that's really worth spending money on. You know what I mean? A lot of the other stuff in the store is a bit of the like, oh, look at this cosmetic that makes this ghost shell look different. And like these sparrows, obviously nothing's better than always on time in terms of speed, but that's a different can of worms I'm not going to crack open in terms of Eververse. Going to start jumping into the voice lines. Like personally, I just do not enjoy the voice lines in the haunted sectors when listening to them. Like I said, I love the lore, but the voice lines are annoying. Now I know you're going to just say, SB, just turn off your in-game dialogue. You don't have to listen to it. I know, but I do not enjoy having my voice lines turned off because I want to be able to hear interactions between certain characters. Like when I say that annoying voice lines, I specifically mean Glint, right? Glint in particular is the most annoying Ghost. He was much funnier back in his like pulled pork era. You know what I mean? After the he's just, some of these voice lines just make me sit there and just question why I'm even farming or even doing Lost Sectors in the first place. Like Haunted Lost Sectors. I love the dialogue between Ido and Drifter and all that type of stuff. They're entertaining. But the second I hear Clint just go, oh, let's go jump in that summoning circle, something fun might pop out. It's just, oh my god, it gives me a headache. But I know that's just a little nitpick of mine. But then also going into like the ending of the negatives, the last thing to complain about is obviously the goodie bags. I'm sure if you have tried opening the goodie bags yourself with candy that you've collected, I think I've dunked about 50k, 60k worth of candy into goodie bags at the moment. I've probably got a bunch sitting in my inventory right now. There's nothing good out of them. It's a good way to farm like legendary shards, don't get me wrong, but for somebody who's already stacked on that, it's not really useful. Like the only thing I use Ava Levante now for is the bright dust engrams. The bright dust. What's it called? Bounties. And even then, like I've only been doing them on my Titan because I haven't touched Festival of the Lost on my Walker Hunter. I'm not going to bother doing that. It's not worth, just getting masks and filling up an inventory. So I know I can get rid of them and I can just do them for the bounties, but I'm not desperate for Bright Dust myself. I know my friend Grudge is trying to collect up to, I think, 100k, which is interesting. And it gives you a good portion, don't get me wrong. But personally, not worth going in there and buying goodie bags for something. I heard you can get old masks out of them. I haven't gotten a single one, but that's just me. But it's a good legendary shard nonetheless. Legendary shard farm, nonetheless. So if you want to go and farm it, feel free. I'm not going to stop you. Again, these are my personal complaints and opinions on all this. Now, when it comes to making Festival of the Lost better, there's a couple of things I think they could do, but honestly not too much, knowing Bungie isn't going to listen to somebody like me or most of the community in that sense, because they just make it for casual players. And again, I understand that the entire events are meant for casuals to jump in and have a bit of fun. It's a festive season type thing, don't get me wrong, but there are some things that they could make it a lot more fun for people who try and like do their hardest in the festivals and the events, to maybe like reward them for grinding. Like if trust me, if there was more rewarding stuff, I would grind the absolute shit out of this. Now obviously, getting started, Haunted Forest. I didn't do much of the Haunted Forest, but trust me, from what I've heard and from what the bare minimum that I did, Haunted Forest would be so much fun if they brought that back. Now, the way the system I see working would be make Haunted Lost Sectors reward you normal, whatever the pages are, the green ones that you got to transfer into the manifested ones. Get those. You do Haunted Lost Sectors for those. Each one of the headless ones gives you that many pages. 15 headless ones, 15 pages. Right? That way, I wouldn't give a shit if I kept getting less and less pages, because my LFG teammates would kill the boss too quickly, because as long as I'm getting a good amount of pages out of it, that's fine. The only issue I see with the Haunted Lost Sectors at the moment is when I'm trying to transfer those pages into manifested pages, and like I said, manifested, like this entire farm, I'm done with it. But when I'm trying to kill all the headless ones to get 15 over and done with, when I'm by myself, it gets annoying because my teammates just kill everything quickly. Now, I know this will probably happen in the Haunted Forest if they were to make it so when you wanted to transfer those pages into the things, or the manifested pages, they made it so every level you progress through in the Haunted Forest gives you that amount of pages transferred. So one level, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 going forward. And all that type of stuff. Obviously, LFGs, if they are just too slow for your speed, they would make you, drag you down and stuff up the run. But I feel like it'd be more fun to have two different events or two different activities to jump into, where one of them is Haunted Lost Sectors, where it's the festive theme, where you farm it out, all that type of stuff. You get candy from the headless ones, you get pages from killing the headless ones and killing the boss and all that. And then you go to the Haunted Forest, which is just the menagerie of just random ads. You could get Taken, Fallen, Hive, Cabal, Scorn, all these random ads to spawn in different levels going forward, and it gets progressively harder and harder. Add in difficulty like modifiers as you progress past level 5, level 10, level 15. Make level 20 the cap, I'd say. When you get to level 20, you go in and fight 4 different bosses. So because for every level you get through, it makes it difficult. Maybe even add champions to the last level to make it extra difficult, but obviously that's up to obviously the Bungie. If they were to do that, obviously that depends on how difficult they want it to be. If it's a casual event, I understand, but if they just made it more and more progressively harder, that way it would be like a challenge to get to the later levels, that'd be grand. It would make it so like when you get into a fire team, you're actually farming out something where the more efficient and fast you are, the faster you get over and done with, the faster you kill the boss, the faster you get out, the faster you get the pages. That would be grand. And then LFGs would still have fun going in there, 5, 10, 15 levels. Obviously you would eventually get to a point where everybody knows how to easily farm through to level 20 every single time with Trinity Ghoul or Wave Frame grenade launchers or whatever, but it would still make it fun for both team, group, farming and LFG farming with randoms if you were just solo queue, obviously. And that general retrospect has been spinning in my mind for a while. I've had friends throughout the week talk to me about it and how that would be also a good strat. They came up with the idea. None of this is my idea. I'm just taking what they say and spit it out because I am nothing but a parrot indoors with friends. But regardless, that's the idea that they've come up with, I've agreed with, and what we think would be the best way to make that more enjoyable. The other thing I think they could fix is definitely the event card. Now, I know this is more on the paying side, so obviously Bungie does what they want with Eververse to the point where player talk doesn't really change much. But it would be fun if it were, say for example, you have an option to get like 6 items, right? 6 items in the event card. You can pay to immediately get the tickets to buy all of them, or you can farm out 3 tickets to buy 3 of those items, and the other 3 you would have to buy, pay money to get the other 3. You know what I mean? Therefore, you have the choice to buy, 3 of them, to grind out 3 of them, and then, buy the rest maybe if you wanted. Obviously, it's up to them if they want to change the price down and lower it so you only buy 3 tickets worth of silver, or obviously they could keep it the same and just be like, hey, we're taking all your money anyway, in which case people would just buy it straight away instead of farming it out. But it would make it so the people who just farm the encounter, farm the festival, but don't want to spend money on the festival, have a way to get these rewards that obviously are rewarded to people who grind it out. Make it so you have to collect like 100,000 candy and you have to kill 1,000 headless ones, somewhere around that. You have to progress through 100 levels of the Haunted Forest if it was out. You know what I mean? Something where if you've played enough, you will get those tickets and you will spend them on whatever item you want. You're not restricted to 3 items to buy. You can buy any of the 6 with those 3 tickets, right? And it would make it so people would be like, yes, I grinded for this, I earned this, I didn't spend money on the event card, look at me go. And it would be, I feel like that'd be a lot more fun and a lot more, rewarding for players who want to play this Festival of the Lost a lot more and have fun farming it out and grinding it out. Because even if in my opinion, even with the Festival of the Lost out, it's still very dry. I know that I farmed out the title first 2 days. I understand that, and there was nothing else for me to do at the moment in terms of Festival of the Lost, but I still think even if I didn't farm it out, I would still be very bored. I'd still be scraping the bottom of the barrel to get I probably still have the title by the end of this. Like if I were just playing casually, I'm sure I would still have the title by the end of the week, because it's not very hard to slowly grind out either. Though it is tedious, it's still not very hard to grind out over a week's worth of time if I'm playing casually. But that's just my opinion on it. Those are just my thoughts on it. Those are my ideas on the Festival of the Lost. Tell me what you think down below in the comment section. If you have any other good ideas or bad ideas or whatever, if you think my ideas are right or bad, tell me. I love hearing the criticism because it's funny and it's also helpful towards driving my mental state to what you guys and what I think is correct about the game. But who cares at this point, because it's always the casuals who win, IMO. Regardless, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like. Why not subscribe? Check out my other videos. I'm posting quite regularly and I try my best to keep on schedule. Come check me out on Twitch. Obviously, link will be in the description. Streaming pretty much every day. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Love you all. Bye-bye.